Welcome, guys. It is me, Kisame Unlimited, and today is Saturday. Saturday is the 6 Fifth Pain Challenge. I've been doing the 6 Fifth Pain Challenge for about a month now, and I'm actually really happy with the results. Last week, I asked for 500 likes. You gave it 500 likes. You guys are really happy to see it return. If you would like to see the 6 Fifth Pain Challenge next week, 500 likes is the goal. Voice it by liking the video, because that's how I know that you guys would like to continue seeing it. If the segment doesn't really get the 500 likes, I'll just replace it with a different segment. I also think it's fun because you don't really see many YouTubers actually duel their subscribers, which I actually really enjoy doing. So I really wanted to keep on doing that. So, you know, like I said before, if you would like to take the 6 Fifth Pain Challenge, hit me up on Facebook and I will definitely give you your games. It may take a little while for me to go through all the messages, but there are a lot of people that message me. So yada, yada, yada. Just message me and I'll get back to you at one point in time. So other than that, we're going to get on into these games. I hope you guys are all looking forward to them and seeing how, you know, wacky my decks are. They're not that wacky.
They got us trapped.
You'll never survive if you lose control, Mr. Fox.
Okay, so starting off, I am using my Invoke deck. I noticed that in the last video that I didn't actually tackle my Invoke deck. So I said, you know, I'm going to actually tackle it. I'm going to use it. I want to try it out more often. You know what it is? Invokes, in my opinion, are such a creative deck. I like the concept of the Wind Witches. I like the concept of Alistair and all of the fusions being the different elements and being... To me, I feel like they are a more respectable version of Shadal's, in my opinion. I really like the deck as a whole. But the problem with me and, you know, the Invoke deck as a whole that makes me just drive myself nuts with it is that I really feel like it lacks like some pizzazz. It lacks like a little piece of like creativity that I want to put in the deck, but I don't know what to do to it because I'm like stuck in this weird limbo state. Like I don't know what to do with it. Because for me, when it came to Raijin, when I first saw him, I said, wow, you kind of look like a Constella card, and I like the way you look. I like that whole concept. I think all the fusions have these really cool, elegant looks, and I said, you know, I really want to play this deck. And it just you see right here, I remembered I was just like, I'm gonna go in face down defense position because I don't trust what you're doing. So I was just like, for me personally, I have such a bad habit of facing Yang Zings and doing extremely poorly. And to be honest, I really do like Yang Zings at the end of the day. I really do. I think that they were so interesting, so cool. But the funny thing is with me with Yang Zings is that I think he was trying to trick me there. He was just like, all right, go ahead, you know, use Crystal Wing to negate that. I'm like, I ain't negating that. I want to negate that ugly looking horse looking one because I know that that one gets all the consistency. So fuck him. But you see, for me at this point, I was just like, okay, so I mean, you can't really do anything. I mean, at this point, I knew he was going to set a scales and I had strikes, so I said, well, there goes all you Yang Zings, you ain't getting shit, and I basically won this game. So I was just like, oh, that's fun. You know what's funny? It still gets such a dirty taste in my mouth when I use Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I don't like that card. Yeah.
Game over.
The next game, I'm using my Supreme King ZARC deck. ZARC and Fluffles have probably been the two decks that I've been using the most within this whole month. ZARC's deck, I feel like my ZARC deck is, in my opinion, pretty different from everybody else's because I've seen so many people that don't do certain things that I do. And then I say, why don't they play this? Why don't they play that at 3? Why don't people, you know, focus on that more often? And I kind of said to myself, I'm like, I can't wait to document my ZARC deck, and I want to do it before the link summoning mechanic is out, because I know that that's going to affect this deck in many ways, because this deck does kind of everything and everything is getting nerfed. So I'm like, oh, you know, might as well do that. My favorite part about this game was that this time when I was dueling this guy really was able to make a comeback against ZARC, which I think is really clever, because most of the time when a board gets so overcomplicated and so full, most of the time your opponent will either just scoop or just sees the momentum shift in their favor and they say, you know, I'm just not going to stay here for this. But I really respect people that say, you know, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to come at you and I'm going to dump my fucking shit on the board, and then you have to deal with my shit. So I was just like, okay. I'm like, here's Gear Guy and X. And then I was like, oh, so he's going to go and special summon Cyber Dragon Nova into Cyber Dragon Infinity. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm happy I survived the turn. So in this turn, I was very I was very crafty because I was like, I know he's in a negate pendulum call. I said, let him negate pendulum call, then I'll do wisdom on magician, and now use his effect, and now I'll bring out all my shit again. And then I said, you know what the fun thing is? Now I'd have the ability to go for ZARC. And I said, let me summon ZARC, destroy all that. I feel like it's so interesting and so fun to play ZARC where you could actually destroy the whole field. So that was like a really impressive thing for me. I always like ZARC. ZARC is like so cool. Astrograph Sorcerer and ZARC are so awesome, in my opinion.
Game over.
In the next game, I am using Fluffles against Skull Servant. So you have two OTK heavy decks where they all win in one turn. So I was just like, oh, he's using Curry Bandit, dumping a whole bunch of his shit to the graveyard. He got a lot of Skull Servants in his graveyard, to be honest, so he got pretty good mills. I mean, for me, though, I'm playing Fluffles, and to be fair, Fluffles versus Skull Servants, it's not very fair for the Skull Servant user because Fluffles are much faster and more quick-witted. So, I mean, you know, that's what you come at me with, so I'm sorry. You know, you should know kind of the decks that I play. But personally for me, I'm like, okay, you know, I really do like using Cat in this deck. A lot of people, I don't know why so many people don't play Cat and Fluffles. It's just, I don't know, I need to get all my plays as quickly as possible. So I'm playing Bahamut Shark, totally awesome. I knew the moment when I played totally awesome that it was like over. I basically played totally awesome because I didn't trust if he had any like card in his hand to stop the attack, like Swift Scarecrow or Battle Fader, so I wanted to take advantage of that.
Game over.
In the next game, I am using Dynamis, and my opponent is using, I'm pretty sure it's a Destiny Hero ZARC deck. It was so weird when I first saw it. I was just like, wow, what a strange combination. But you know what? In the end, everyone plays what they want. Everyone does their own unique thing. And then I was like, oh, you know, Evil Swarm Nightmare. That is such an outdated card for me. I haven't seen someone use Nightmare in such a long period of time. But fuck, I mean, it works for you. I mean, to me, my logic was, let me just Pendulum Summon, even though my shit's just going to be put in face down defense position anyway. I said, let me put my shit there, let it go face down, and then if he destroys it, it'll just go back in my scales, and I have charge, so I'm not really that worried. So I saw it Void Ogre Dragon. When I saw Void Ogre Dragon, I was just like, oh my god, I hate that card. I hate Void Ogre Dragon with like a burning passion. Void Ogre Dragon is actually like one of my most hated Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I mean, I think it would maybe cross my top 10, but I think it's just such an annoying card. I hate cards that are just basically like, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I was just like, okay, so I'm like, all right, you destroy my Twin Twister. I'm like, good. I'd rather you destroy Twin Twister than anything else that I have. I mean, so personally for me, I'm taking a beating. And to be honest, if he would have just switched Nightmare in attack mode last turn, he would have beat me. He would have just easily knocked me out. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. So I said, thank God that I was given another scale 6 because I could actually do this all over again. So I was just like, all right, let me Pendulum Summon. And I said, now with Rex, I know personally that I could get rid of Void Ogre Dragon, get him out of the way, because I could shuffle him back to the extra deck. So I was just like, all right, that's good. So I said, now I'll play Infinity, I'll take Odd Eyes, and now you are stuck in a situation where now you can't fucking do anything, and now you have to do what the fuck I tell you to do. So I said, well, I only have 450 life points, so it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to overwhelm what I have. So I said, okay, he didn't do anything. So I said, now I'm just going to basically use Petrin to search again, and at the end of the day, now I can summon Totally Awesome through Bahamut Shark. So I said, well, now I'm pretty set. I'm pretty sure that no matter what happens at this point, I got this game in the bag, and nothing can really happen. He tries to, you know, break through scale me, but I'm just like, I still got Infinity on the field, so I can negate whatever the fuck I want. So at this point in time, he basically uses Allure of Darkness. I know he does that here, and then he lost everything, and then he just gave up. So I was just like, you know what, in the end, it was fun. I like seeing the momentum shift in the game and seeing me overcome a really difficult first turn board. So I thought that that was really nice.
Game over.
And the last game I'm going to be showcasing for you guys is my Constella deck versus Dark Magician. And this is just one hell of a fuckery, because to be honest, this guy made me so confused, because I remembered he went into Rod and he didn't search Circle. And I was just like, why don't you search Circle? And then I said, let me just leave Circle alone, because I knew that he was going to use Navigation to summon Dark Magician. But I said, I'd rather get rid of a bluff trap card than dealing with whatever's on the field, because I need to know what's happening. So I said, let me go into Adrius, and I said, let me just get rid of Dark Magic Circle. Once that card's out of my way, it should be much easier for me. I set Return to the Front Lines, and I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then he plays the hand where it's like, your trap cards can't be activated. I said, well, you know what it is? I want someone to explain this to me. I always use Return to the Front Lines to bring back, you know, the Constella Lieber girl. And every time when I do that, it says, like, when the card's normal summoned or special summoned, you get the search. And for some odd reason, there have been many times where I miss the timing. And I know it deep down that I am missing the timing for legitimate reasons. But then I keep saying to myself, I'm like, fuck, I really wish that, like, because I know that there are many cards out there where they have effects so similar and they still get their search. And I'm like, why don't I get my fucking search? Why do I have to deal with this? So I said, all right, so I knocked out both Dark Magician. So I said, okay, let's see where this goes. So I saw him use Dark Magic Circle. He didn't get anything out of it, so I was like, that's like the best thing when you're facing Dark Magician, is when you see them use Dark Magic Circle and they don't get anything, you're like, oh, thank God they didn't get that fucking +1 mechanic. So in this moment, I'm like, I keep bouncing back, you know, fucking Soul, because my logic is, you know, if it fucking moves from the field, it'll destroy all your shit anyway. And I basically wanted to get as much damage off as possible. So I saw, like, you know, I said, let me use Return to the Front Lines, get my fucking search this time. And actually I said, you know, even now that he could summon, you know, Dark Magician and banish something of mine, in the end, I know that I could still overwhelm him this turn. So he takes out Adrius, and then I said, you know what? I don't know why he does this right now, because he uses Solemn Warning to take out I think it was Kaus, but I'm like, why would you take out Kaus when you could have just took out Zombie? It didn't matter, because I was going to attack him with Pleiades first and then the Libra girl and win anyway, but I didn't really get that.
Game over.
If you guys see my games and say, oh, I really think I could beat him, or I really think that this game sucked, be that person to whoop my fucking ass. I want people to get far in my challenge. I want people to fucking throw my ass from one side of the room to the other, because I want to showcase the best of the best. And I personally, I like casual based decks. Constella's a casual, Spellbook's a casual, Dynamis a casual, ZARC and Fluffles and Invokes aren't really casual, because they're like on the tier scale of being like tier 2, tier 3. But even then, tier 2, tier 3 ain't that fucking popular in the first place. But I just like playing these decks because I'm having a good time with them. So if you guys would love to challenge me, I'm so open. And other than that, I hope you guys all had a great time watching my games. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. My Tuesdays are discussion-based videos where it's stuff like rants and monthly topics and could this be metas. My Thursdays are dedicated to top 10s, and my Saturdays are dedicated to the 6/5 Pain Challenge. So you get discussions, top 10s, and duels from me constantly. So I hope you guys all have a great time, and I will see you guys later in a future video. So have a good day.